I'm about to try something that I never thought I would ever do, selling cards on WhatNot. I'm not sure how this is going to go, but follow along this video and you're going to find out with me. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back here to Main Event Cards. My name is Damien, and as the title of the video suggests, we are about to see how it goes for me as a first-time seller on the WhatNot platform. I myself am not familiar at all with WhatNot. Obviously, I've heard about it for a few years. I've never been on there to buy as a buyer.
What?
And I've certainly never been on there as a seller. I sell predominantly my cards on eBay and ComC, but more recently, shout out to little Chris, a member of the UFC card community who I did have on the channel for a community convo just recently. After speaking with him, he really sparked my interest. He gave me the thumbs up to give it a go, and I thought, why the hell not? WhatNot at the moment have a very friendly beginner seller program. They will match actually your first sales up to $150. So the way that I looked at this was like, man, even if the sales don't do so great, I sell, for example, $50 worth of cards, WhatNot are going to match that and add another 50, or who knows, maybe you sell up to 200 worth of cards and WhatNot are actually going to bump that up with an extra 150. So essentially you're getting $350 for the $200 worth of cards. That sort of offer at the moment is pretty unreal, I thought. So that was really another motivator. And I was just curious as well as to getting into WhatNot, see what it's like. I've heard it's a lot of fun. And one thing that I think is attractive about it, it's instant. You are selling the cards on the spot. You're not waiting around on eBay forever. And the way that WhatNot is set up at the moment, as I said, for beginner sellers is very, very good. So I thought to jump on. I'm going to share my experience with you guys. Not sure how it's going to go. So I figured that the way I would do this is I'm going to plan out, probably have 40-ish cards, 40 single cards. They're going to be some raw, a couple of graded. I won't do too many graded because I'm not sure what the demand's going to be like, especially within Australia. Australia is growing. WhatNot is already massive in the States, but it is starting to slowly grow here now in Australia. So that's promising. And I think live selling platforms are the future in terms of what people are going to be doing when it comes to spending their dollars and buying retail. People want that sort of entertainment. They want that interaction, and they get that definitely on the WhatNot platform. So I'm very curious to give this a go. Come along with me. Let's see how it pans out. I'm going to show off my setup. I think it's pretty simple. I'm starting very simple, and it's something that anyone really could do. After the show, I'll give my thoughts, and we'll see how I did in results in terms of how many cards I sold, how much I took home, and I'll give my overall thoughts. All right, guys, this is literally going to be my setup for the show. I've got the phone here, front and center with the camera. I will be able to see all the chat here right in front of me. And then I've got all the cards here that we're going to be selling. So obviously a couple of PC cards displayed on the background just to take up the background. But we have one of the cards that we'll be selling here live front and center, the PSA 9 with a UFC 12 fight poster there. And then the rest is basically all just raw singles. So we've got a good mix. Round 2 golds, for example, UFC fight posters in there, a couple of prisms, a couple of ones that I pulled recently out of the 2021 retail pack. Got some green prisms inserts there. Got a Hamzat rookie and a few more fight posters. I've got high hopes for the fight posters out of all the singles. I'm not sure how we're going to sell, but I think the fight posters should do pretty well from what I understand. Now, I've got the computer playing in the background with some 80s music because for the first time I jumped on WhatNot and just watched a few other people selling cards. And apparently playing music in the background is what everyone else does. So I've got some 80s tunes playing in the background. Hopefully people appreciate that. But yeah, just real like low-end guys, low-end singles. I figured I'm going to go low-end singles to start off with because this is my first ever show. I don't know how things are going to go. And also taking advantage of the WhatNot first sign-up seller offer. Basically, whatever these sell for, I'm getting double the price for, essentially. So that's why I figured going to keep some just low-end singles to start off with. I have another stack of slabs there that what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to use that. If everything goes well, I'm going to tease the people with some slabs that'll probably go up with the next show. So keep the viewers wanting more when I show those off at the end. Excited to see how this goes. Very simple setup, as you can see. That's it, guys, in its flesh. Let's see how everything goes.
20 minutes later.
Okay, everyone. Next up, we have the Khamzat Chimaev rookie card from 2021 Debut Panini Prism. This one is just a base, but it is very well centered, as you can see here, left to right. He fights this weekend for the middleweight championship. Is he going to get the win? What do you all think? But this one is going to be going up at auction, starting at $1 right now. So jump in when you can. Let's see who wants this Khamzat Chimaev Prism rookie. All right, guys. So the show is done, and I am very, very surprised, and I'm very happy with how everything went. I can put it up on the screen here right now to get straight into it. We can see I had a total of 40 orders and a total of $344 worth of sales. That is basically roughly maybe $8 per sale on average. And considering some of the cards I had, 2021 Prism, no, I think there was only maybe one base. That was a Khamzat rookie card that I had in there. That one's selling for almost $10. A lot of the others, silver, green parallels, all selling for a few dollars each. The hottest things that I found were the UFC poster cards. Those got the most action in terms of people bidding. It was very fun. It was pretty hectic, but the time went like that. We can see I was on there for 91 minutes exactly so an hour and a half. To do $344 worth of sales in 91 minutes definitely blew my mind. I did not expect that. And especially when you add on top of that WhatNot with their seller sign-up offer that they have at the moment, they're going to add on another $150 on top of that. So that's just absolutely insane. I learned a lot of things. I did make some mistakes. One thing that I did do, I did have a giveaway. And unfortunately, when I did do the setup for the giveaway, I did not click the option that when the giveaway is ran, that it has to be only people who have bid on your cards. Obviously, you're going to have a few people in watching the show. And unfortunately, my giveaway was available entrance from everyone. So you didn't have to have had made a purchase, or you didn't have to be following me to get into that giveaway. So that was one thing that I learned, and I was pretty sour about that, to be honest. Obviously, if I'm doing a giveaway, I wanted that card to go to someone who actually had made a purchase throughout the show. So apologies to anyone who was watching this and was a part of that show and had made a purchase. That was my bad. Definitely learnt from that mistake. I did learn a lot of things. I had a lot of fun. It did feel hectic at the time, but it also felt really easy. I went to the effort of setting up all my listings. That took a bit of time. So you can go into the pre-show and you can set up listings instead of just pulling up random cards. That way, the potential buyers, you can pull that card up, pin it, and they can sort of see which card is coming up next before they start bidding on it. That way you can talk about the card a little bit, try and get people a little bit more excited. And that was the other thing I was trying to do. I was obviously trying to use my overall knowledge and experience with UFC cards to try and be educating at the same time. That way some people get value, whether they're actually buying cards or not. But overall, as I said, to do $344 worth of sales. Now, obviously, WhatNot are going to take a little bit of a skim off the top of that with transaction costs. And I think it works out to be roughly a bit over $300, but still $300 worth of sales for me in my pocket. WhatNot take care of all the shipping costs. All I've literally got to do is print off labels, which I actually just today had gone over on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, found someone selling a printer that included ink for $15. So I literally just bought this printer here off Facebook Marketplace. Came with ink. Already had some paper. And like that, I can print off these slips. So got this for $15. As I said, come with ink. And now I can print all my labels off from home. This is going to make selling so much easy when it comes to packing and shipping. I can't believe this. Best $15 I've ever spent. So essentially, I've now got my postage printer here for $15, which is something that, you guys can also do as well, whether it's on Craigslist or Gumtree or wherever you're based. People will sell printers pretty cheap. So shipping's going to be pretty much a breeze with that as well. I can print the labels. They're prepaid here on WhatNot. The buyer pays for the postage costs, and as I said, I learned a lot of things. UFC posters are hot in terms of what's selling here in Australia. The graded cards, there were a few cards that did not sell. Basically, out of the 45 listings that I did, only 4 cards did not sell. Didn't sell these graded round 1 golds. I had them up at a starting at $49. I was not willing to let them go for anything less. All my other listings, I did have started $1 and just let them rip. And then a few prisms. So we've got the Muslim Saklikov and then the Mickey Gale prisms. So sorry, 5 cards in total did not sell out of 45. So as a sell-through rate of about 90%, which is, as I said, got to be happy with that. I learned a lot of things to take into the next show. And that's the other thing for me, as somebody who just doesn't do cards. Like, cards are a massive part of my collecting, but I also, some of you may know, I do other sort of resale stuff, whether it's vintage shirts, DVDs, games, toys, and that's all things that you can also do and be selling here on WhatNot. So overall, I'm very excited about the potential of, doing WhatNot again, selling on WhatNot. I think it's a very friendly user base. Even if you want to get on there, I haven't had much experience buying yet, but there seems to be people, you can pick up some cheap cards as well if you're in the right place at the right time. So overall, this was a really fun experience. Blew my mind in terms of what I got out of it for my own time. It was very fun. Got in there, you can interact with people just like a YouTube live. I myself, because I was doing everything through my phone, I would probably look to do a better setup in general in the future. So I would have maybe a tablet or something with a bigger screen where you can sort of see the comments as well and see the chat more when you actually are showing stuff off. It's a little bit harder on a telephone in terms of the screen size and keeping up with what's going on there. But yeah, nothing bad at all to say about the experience. Very, very enjoyable. I can't wait to do it again. I've already scheduled my next show. Going to be selling off some slabs instead. Obviously some more raw singles as well. I've got WWE stuff. I've got some NBA stuff. I'm going to just get on there and go a little bit loose and see how things go, because it was easy, it was fun, and why the hell not? If you are interested in getting on WhatNot and selling for the first time ever, I do have a link in my description, a referral link in my link description below. That link will also get you that offer. So if you click on sign up through that link, you will be matched for your first sales up to $150, which is an amazing offer to take as a first-time seller. I highly recommend it. Obviously, that gives me a referral too on my side, which helps me out. And also, I will have a link. If you're just interested in getting as a buyer on WhatNot, there will be a referral link in the description as well. And that will give you $15 off your first ever purchase when you sign up. So once again, very much enjoyed it. It was a very interesting experience, and I can't wait to sort of make more content about this. I have this, as I said, even just that getting into that printer, like buying that printer. If anyone who has sold stuff before, I haven't had a printer. I write everything out by hand, but even getting something like the printer at a buying cost at $15, like I almost feel like the sky's the limit in terms of what I do with this now. And I'm actually pretty excited to see how this experience goes, how I can build off this experience, how I can go using this to make a side income that maybe I wasn't making. Obviously, when you're selling on eBay and things like that, you can be waiting too long sometimes to make that return on your cards. So something for me to think about. This could even turn into some sort of side business as it is, selling on WhatNot as a platform. Very excited about it if you can't tell. And as I said, I highly recommend it. So check out those links in the description if you do want to start selling on WhatNot and take advantage of that new seller offer that they do have at the moment. The way I saw it was you have nothing to lose. So for those of you who are already on WhatNot, let me know your experiences in the comments down below. I'll definitely try to have more updates in terms of how WhatNot's going for me as a seller in the future. So stick around for those stick around for those videos coming in the future. If you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel here, hit the subscribe button. If you enjoyed this one, give the video a thumbs up. And I appreciate you all. I'll see you here next time.